Hello, Lego lovers. This is L, and this is a Lego City part review of a very interesting, possibly controversial, just interesting set. And it is Road Plates, set number 60304, and it has 112 pieces. And the name is exactly what this is, but let's get into the parts. Let's do the easy stuff first. So, over here we have a whole bunch of green. I like green. It's nice when you're kind of building with greenery or outdoors or parks or, anything like that. So, having green plates and kind of medium large ones is fairly nice. Nothing small, but that's all right. Then with that, we have some greenery. We have these evergreen type trees, the smaller ones, and we have two of those. We have two of the leaf pieces and three of these kind of grass type pieces. And then we also have some printed pieces, and these are newer. But we have a crosswalk printed piece, and that is on a clip, as you can see there. And then the other piece, which is also on a clip but circular, is like a 50 speed limit type sign. Just nice, crisp prints. Nothing overbearingly fancy, but just nice to have. Then we also have two of the solar panel 1x4 tile prints there. Another nice printed piece to have. And that's all the printed pieces actually in here. We do have four of these kind of slope type angles in 2x4. I think they use them for like speed bumps effectively, and there's four of those. We also have a nice plethora of this 1x1 brick bracket there, as you can see. And there's six of those. We also have some flowers, four red, four yellowish, and I'm really happy to see those flowers. I actually really like those flowers. We also have some 1x1 transparent tiles there in your stop and go light type colors. We have some nice kind of these hinge type parts that you can put into an axle or a bar. Two of those. We have the black kind of tooth part, not too special. This, however, I think is really special, and it is not just a 1x2 white plate. It is actually a glow in the dark white plate. So you leave this in the light, with the lights on, and then you can turn the lights off and it will give a little bit of a glow. I love that. I played around with it in a couple other parts reviews, and the glow in the dark effect is actually better than I thought. So there's only two in here, unfortunately. I always would love to see more, but still nice to get some of those. Down here we have a small selection of hinge pieces, very versatile and good pieces. They can keep angles fairly well. Then we have four of these streetlight type section part things, like a 2x2 tile with a pole in it effectively. Get it to zoom in there. You can see there's a stud on top, otherwise it's just a bar, but still a nice, obviously very useful type part. We even have two of these. Usually I use these in clear to have stuff look like it's flying, but it's basically like a super bar. As you can see, a 1x2 on the end to about a 1x1 stud effectively with a hole in it. What else do we have here? Because there's quite a bit actually. So, tiles. First of all, a whole bunch of 1x4 dark gray tiles. Just great for doing sidewalks, road work, stuff, buildings, etc. So, as you can see here, we have 8 of them. And then to that, we have a whole bunch of 2x4s. Again, same thing, great for sidewalks, great for building. Gray is unfortunately a kind of common type color in construction, concrete, and there's a whole bunch here. It looks like what we got here. Groups of 5, 15, 19 of them. That's quite a bit. And then to go with that, we have these, which that is effectively a print. It's just a white line through it, and basically you use that for a crosswalk on this part. But it is all printed, and you can kind of see They probably don't fully always line up, but just nice to get some sort of variety of a print in here, though. I can see that being used to create lines and details, obviously, for roads. But as you can see, you get 10 of them here, which is quite a bit. And we even get some 1x2s down here, right on the edge, in that dark gray. Now to the more interesting, perhaps, pieces. First up, we'll go with this ramp part. So basically, this is like a mega slope. As you can see, it's a 8x8, and you can kind of see, I think that's about 2 plates high, otherwise 1 plate about there. Standard kind of connection going on there, just looks a little bit different for durability. And then this is kind of like a divot in there, and you can kind of see it like that. And they use that here for the roads. However, it's a nice bulk type part that you can use in large sloped areas for roads of any sort, or in like spaceships or buildings, anything that you would want a large dark gray slope for. So having it all in one part can actually be good because you can do other things with it. This would also make like a nice roof type part where you just have this part connected and maybe this over a doorway. Just really nice, useful, big part. And the slope just kind of adds to it. And as you can see, we have 6 here. So let's get into the big parts. The first one we have here is the crosswalk. And I think this only comes in this set, but I'm not 100% sure. Unfortunately, it looks really scuffed up right off the bat, which is kind of really unfortunate. You might not notice it on camera, but I can notice it in person here. But basically, it comes with the print here of the crosswalk, etc., where you can put this in there and it finishes it. And this part has a kind of not fully done in plating. I haven't played around with it too much, but I did a little bit. It's 2 plates thick. You could put a plate here and put another plate over it if for some reason you want that. Otherwise, you have this as half of one of those back there. And yeah, so just interesting. But let's kind of look at the bigger ones and kind of talk more about that. So as you can see, this is twice that one. A little bit different, but you can see kind of how they have this hollowed in area. I think that's just to make it a little cheaper, perhaps not as heavy. Just interesting. So this is 16 by 16. And as you can see, we have kind of little plate and divots. And conceptually, that will allow you to do things like this. And you can see it gets a nice kind of sloping in there. And then obviously, if you want to, you can put another one on the other side and get one slope in. As you can see, now you have areas where you can put whatever you want, really, into there. And to get it out, it has a hole through it, which helps, kind of technical. But yeah, so you get 4 of these in here, and that's a pretty big part. I would say that normally, if you were to get your standard 16 by 16 plate, depending on color, it might be like $3 to $5, depending on color. So in theory, this $20 set already kind of has its value in just 4 pieces. So yeah, that's all the parts in here. As you can see, there's 4 back there. This is a versatile and interesting part. I think it's a quick, easy way to really bulk up some gray builds that you might want to do. Large walls or whatever. The other thing too is obviously using it as a road, or even just a driveway, or whatever base gray type thing. Technically, you could use this as a roof on a building and maybe even put some detailing in there. So there's a lot of options for that piece. And like I said, there's 4 of them. So overall, as a parts pack, now admittedly, I haven't played with, oh geez, I haven't played with these enough to really see their value for that part. But if we just kind of slide those back here and kind of ignore those, let's ignore these and just look at what we have right down here. That's a lot of parts, even though it's not a lot of numbered parts, because I mean, these are all big. These are all big. These are fairly big. Very few one by one parts. And we even have some prints. We have some kind of unique parts. I really think that just parts wise, if you kind of don't think about those, this is still a pretty good value. And then when you bring these in, it's an even better value. So I really think this actually has a lot of good value. Um, Gray, because of cities and stuff like that, roads and all different kinds of things, is a pretty popular color just in general. So regardless of what you want for a road or whatnot, this does have, I think, a pretty good amount of parts. And I'm sure that even if you don't have roads or don't want to use these for roads, you'll find a use for them. And it's a nice big bulk part. And this stuff isn't that bad either, like I said. Initially, this was not one I was going to pick up because if you know my city, you'll know why. And I do plan on doing probably a couple more videos on this because there is some kind of controversies versus base plates. But I want to say, value wise, even if you're not getting those base plates, the value is in this set. Yeah, so I do plan on doing some more videos on this set just to kind of play around with it, or maybe see what I can do in my city. I don't know how that video will go, but yeah, no, I really think this is a great value. It's $20. I'm sure at some point perhaps it will go on sale, maybe to 17, more than likely 15 usually is what $20 sets go down to, or 16. And then it's just better value too. If you don't like gray, you might not like this set. So, but that's pretty much all I got to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you some information on the parts in this road plates set. And maybe you enjoyed the video and you'll check out some more of my videos. Thanks for watching.